Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the interview with Kris Johnson. If you listened to part 1 of this incredible interview with KJ, feel free to fast forward to the 8-minute and 40-second mark of the podcast. If you have not listened to part 1 and you're only listening to part 2 right now, then feel free to listen to the next roughly 8 minutes and 50 seconds of the podcast, which includes the introduction of Kris Johnson right here in the Sports Deli. Welcome first-time listeners and returners to the Sports Deli. The Sports Deli is sponsored by SportRx. SportRx is the leader in sports prescription eyewear. You can find them online at sportrx.com, and don't forget to enter the code DELI10 at checkout for your special 10% discount. We also want to give props to PSK Collective. Be inspired in PSK, where their clothing promotes inclusivity, empowerment, and equality by supporting female athletes through the Women's Sports Foundation. You can find them online at pskcollective.com or at walmart.com. We also want to thank citylokes.com, where you can get your own personalized hats and phone cases, tees, accessories, and much, much more. I ordered 2 hats, and they're amazing. One of them says the Sports Deli, and it has a California license plate, and the other one has a Michigan license plate and says Speak Up and Dribble, Black Lives Matter. So check them out at citylokes.com, and don't forget to enter the code The Sports Deli at checkout for your special 10% discount. And we're so excited to finally be supporting Moolah Kicks. They're dropping in May of 2021. They are the first female-only brand basketball shoe, and you can find them online at Moolah. Moolah is Moolah, Kicks, like shoes, Kicks, plural, moolahkicks.com. Again, much thanks to Natty White, the founder of Moolah Kicks. You can always send us an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com. And you can also DM us on Instagram at Mike Hootner or on Twitter at Michael Hootner. A little bit about Hootie Hoot. I coached college basketball for 23 years, 15 on the men's side and 8 on the women. And I now coach at a low-income, first-generation high school girls basketball here in San Diego. I played 4 years of college basketball. I'm a life coach. I have a beautiful daughter. I'm a professional basketball skills trainer. We love to share space with our guests here in the Sports Deli to talk about the intersection between race and sports, mental health and sports, equality, empowerment, empathy, leadership, education, sports, and solutions. We talk a lot about white privilege. We want to help mobilize, listen, learn, and pay it forward. Remember, your voice matters when fighting systemic racism. Read a book, acknowledge your white privilege, watch a movie about institutional racism, call your local or state representatives, or have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like you. We have to change the economic, educational, police, housing, prison, and voting suppression narratives that currently need to be changed in this country. And the only way to do that is to listen and learn, and then help be a part of the mobilization and change that we want to see. We're so honored that you're joining us today, and we hope that you can grab your favorite deli sandwich or bagel and your favorite beverage, and let's do this together in the Sports Deli. We are joined today on this 20th day of National Alcohol, Fresh Celery, Humor, and Cannabis Awareness Month by Kris Johnson, who was the Los Angeles Times' 1993 Player of the Year, who later went on to star at UCLA, where he won a national championship as a freshman for the 1995 UCLA Bruins. He went from Montclair Prep, a mostly white school, to Crenshaw at the suggestion of his father, where he played with some amazing players like our most recent guest on the show, former NBA champion Tremaine Folks. While at Crenshaw, after transferring from Montclair Prep, KJ averaged nearly a double-double, going for nearly 23 points and 9 rebounds a game. It was one of the toughest players to defend, especially when he backed his way towards the basket, and attempting to box him out was nearly impossible. Johnson was named the City 4A and the Times' Central City Player of the Year. His last second shot he made to beat Mater Dei in the 1993 State Southern California Regionals was one of the most epic and clutch shots in Scholastic State history. Baron Davis, former Bruin and NBA star and friend of KJ, listed KJ as the fourth best player ever to come out of Los Angeles, behind Tremaine Folks, Shea Cotton, and Miles Simon. High praise from Barron. He later teamed up at UCLA with Toby Bailey from Los Angeles' Loyola High School. His father, Marcus Johnson, also played at UCLA and won a national title like Kris, playing alongside Bill Walton, and later starred in the NBA as a 5-time All-Star. His dad also made the phrase, "Yeah, baby," famous as the radio broadcaster during his son's national championship run. Kris and his dad were the only father and son combo to be named LA City Player of the Year 20 years apart at the same high school, Crenshaw High, and the first ever father-son combo to win a national collegiate championship at the same school at UCLA. Sadly, his dad robbed a liquor store and got out-hustled on the basketball court when Kris was younger, but fortunately it was only a movie, as he starred as Raymond Dickens in the famous movie White Men Can't Jump. He didn't beat his dad in one-on-one until he was a sophomore at UCLA, and when he was a kid, he was in the Milwaukee Bucks locker room where his dad Marcus played, and Hall of Fame coach Don Nelson once told him that he was dribbling too much and glared at him. The Bucks retired his dad's number 8 jersey in 2019, and when Michael Jordan was filming Space Jam, he would have pickup basketball games with a number of Kris's fellow teammates from the 1995 UCLA National Championship team, and Kris was always MJ's number 1 pick. He also gave Kris a pair of his actual shoes, but what Kris loved most was that he realized MJ was just like him in terms of competition and trash talking. This was especially mind-blowing for Kris as he worshiped MJ growing up, as he had a poster on his wall at UCLA. He played overseas, including Russia, Turkey, Qatar, Lebanon, and China when the Iraq War was going on, as well as in the Continental Basketball Association for the Quad City Thunder and Sioux Falls Skyforce, where he played with Fab Five, Jimmy King, and many others. His brothers and sisters were very accomplished athletes. He loves to work out and talk shit while he's working out. He is the host of KJ Live, which has become one of the more polarizing live broadcasts on Instagram with his authentic, wide-ranging interviews and contagious laugh. He loves to experiment with different backgrounds on his show. He's done some work for Fox Sports as a studio analyst. He starred on a reality show. He's a dad, and his son Will plays basketball for the Oregon Ducks, and he shares a birthday with current Memphis coach Penny Hardaway, Wendy Williams, Vin Diesel, and Nelson Mandela. You can find him online on Instagram at Kris Johnson Live, on Twitter at @PointForwardPro, and on YouTube, just search for Kris Johnson Live, where on his KJ Live broadcast has brought us some of the most unbelievable guests. Man, a huge national championship. Warm welcome to the Sports Deli, bro.
Thank you. That was a nice intro. Where do I send the check?
Repping UCLA, baby. KJ Live in the house.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, man?
How you doing? Dude, I gotta, man, I had totally, yo.
You multitasking like a motherfucker.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
right, you're straight, man. It's really important to me to talk about and promote this narrative to bridge the gap between Black and white America. And so, you realize now that the connections that you made at UCLA, and Jelani's talked about this, and Ray has talked about this, even though that wasn't necessarily their first choice, maybe. Now, looking back on it, they wouldn't have it any other way. And so we're between Clubhouse and the racial reckoning and collaborating and, your UCLA brothers, the black dollar is seeing a shift on many levels, especially with tech and entertainment. And so I want to ask you about that, because it's not only fascinating to me, but I know how important it is for Blacks to be investing in Black neighborhoods, for Black-owned businesses, whether it's Master P or anybody else that's trying to change this ridiculous narrative and for the arrogance of white people to tell African Americans and the Black and brown communities about themselves when they're the ones that are living it and they know exactly what's gone on and what's going on now is one of the most infuriating parts of this journey for me as I've tried to reinvent myself as a host to try and educate and help mobilize and pay it forward. So, when you see Barron doing the things he's doing, when you're doing the things you're doing on your show, not only how does it make you feel, but how important is that, especially in the areas of tech and media, for people to see that the Black and brown community is here to stay.
Um, I think it's really important. I think that the way things are and the way things have gone on in this country, in our society, our culture for so long, there's really no like, you know, it's like it's never going to be a thing that's anything's going to ever change like overnight. So like you say the racial reckoning, and we're already hearing people talk about fatigue, Black Lives Matters being under scrutiny, and they're already trying to drill holes into that organization, and the founders are buying houses and this and that. So now you have the media that's going to be flipping and turning things. And this thing just happened in 2020. Yeah. And now people are already jumping off the train. So you put up some signs and you put some stuff on the floor, and some people boycott a couple of games, and hey, you've done it. That's all we need to do. That apologizes for everything. That's my problem with the situation. Yeah. You got to be in it for the long haul. You got to be in it for the big picture play. It's got to be something that is a way of life. It can't be an initiative or a campaign no more. And that's something that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about. It's not about initiatives and campaigns. You got to change the culture, and you're not going to be able to change the culture in this country, in my opinion. You're not going to be able to change the culture
unless
there's no unless. You're not going to be able to do it. I just don't think, and we can disagree on it, but I just don't think that this country will ever change. I just don't think it. I think it will always be this way. We can say, you saw, like, look, everybody said there will never be a Black president. We have a Black president. And what happens when we have the Black president? What happened out of that? Did anything really change for you? Did the country somehow just turn around? Oh, we've got a Black president, so now Black people.
No, it was symbolic. It was more symbolic because the policies didn't really help the Black and brown community. Right. And Kamala's a symbol also now. And usually we don't judge things until later. Yeah. In a historical sense.
Yeah. But so let's take everything that we haven't judged till later. Let's take everything that we've ever done and say, okay, this administration, every 4 years, bam, 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 bam. What has ever changed as far as like true change? We've made small incremental gains, okay, from the civil rights era to today. But you still have the same issues that are going on in the Black community and disproportionately affecting Blacks, like systemic racism, police brutality. Healthcare is now this huge thing. Education, the ability to choose schools and based on where you live and neighborhoods and resources allocated. So like for me, when we had Obama as the president, I was kind of hoping that some of those items would have been addressed. I was hoping that maybe somehow we can direct it, because when Trump was president, he started making moves to do things that help the people he wanted to help. So that told me, and regardless of how anybody thought about it, he went and took care of his folks and did what he had to do. Yep. Obama, and I'm not here to knock Obama, I'm just keeping it real. Yep. It's like how come the schools are in the same situation? How come healthcare, although Obamacare did help, it did help, but how come we are still dealing with this? We saw it with COVID, man. Look at the COVID data. Look at the COVID data. Look and see what it looked like. And see who's affected the most by COVID. And so my thing with change and we wait until 4 years, we're gonna look at it until after this situation. I've lost hope in that type of optimism, to be honest.
So Jelani and Barron and others who are trying to make inroads, not just for their own companies, but you don't think we're going to have more Black and brown owners in sports? You don't think we're going to have more black and brown entertainers? You don't think you've had interviews with some of these people in Hollywood and some of the people at the top of their respective sports, and owners and your dad, and so you don't think we're gonna bridge that gap?
Uh, when you say bridge that gap, I mean,
Okay, listen, you have the Bill Russell rule in college with some of the conferences now, right? Which requires specific things to happen during interviews and certain people to come in during interviews.
but we had the Rooney Rule. We had the Rooney Rule.
I know, but it was flawed.
But regardless of
It's
it's
a
flawed or
starting
not,
point.
it's not a start. See, we're not happy with this starting point bullshit.
So what's the solution?
It's 2021. You need to give something to the people that have been disproportionately affected. It ain't no starting point. This whole idea of starting point shit, it's 2021. We just starting this shit again? So we're going to have a starting point in 2021? It hasn't enough been done, enough people been affected to push the ball forward past the damn starting point?
Oh, it is.
Are you guys serious right now? See, this is the problem. Are you seriously asking me that question? It's a starting point in 2021. You're telling me I should be thankful that we got a starting point in 2021? 2021, sir?
Nobody said you should be thankful. I'm asking if that was a starting point so
There's
that we can have more.
Point.
So
there needs to be revolutionary type movements.
So are you talking about reparations?
There needs to be revolutionary type movements being made. How else are you gonna catch anyone up? So what are you supposed to do? So what are we supposed to do? How do you validate it? How do you say that this is fair? How do you say it's fair? How do you say it's fair?
Well, it's not fair. I believe in reparations, first of all. But what I'm asking is, how do we get to a point where we change the white person's views? Because this is a white problem. This is a white issue that white people empower. 90% of companies, Congress, judicial, sports, entertainers is run by white people. And I didn't think it was going to go in this direction, but it's important because people are listening and they understand why a level 10 issue can be discussed like you and I are talking about, and it starts off as a 2 and it immediately goes to a 10 because it's the absurdity of it all. When you talk about what you're just sharing with everybody about your frustrations and your hostility and anger, it's completely understandable. And I'm on your side. I agree with you, but you can't skip to level 10 when you're at level.
Why
2.
not? Why not?
Well, because white America,
we've never seen reparations before.
No, we have seen reparations.
So then what are you talking about? So what are you talking about? We can't skip. They've skipped before. So why can't you skip for us?
We can, but how are we going to do reparations? Is it land?
Has there been reparations before? How did they do it before? To what groups of people? And why can't black people get that? I'm asking you as the guy that knows about reparations.
Jews and Asians got reparations.
So why can't you do that for blacks?
You can, but
why hasn't it been done?
Because
Gavin Newsom, to his credit, I don't know what that bill ended up eventually happening, but they introduced the bill for reparations. I'm not sitting here on this reparations hill, but I'm talking about you can't sit here and tell me that other groups of people receive reparations and somehow blacks aren't deserving of those reparations.
Absolutely are.
Oh, so that's when you hear my angst in my voice, when you hear me going at level 10, this isn't anger and hostility. This is pissed off about that situation. That just how can you talk? How do people talk like that about the African-American community who has been intertwined with white people since America was built? How do you talk about black people in that vein? And you gave other groups of people reparations for things that you felt that were done to them that was unfair, that was heinous, that was completely wrong. So apparently, when people start talking levels and the retribution for black people, it somehow always gets into, we can't, I'm just trying to figure out the logic behind it when other groups of people have gotten reparations. That's all I'm trying to have someone explain to me. Why can't black people be considered in the same vein? Is it because it was war? It was because it was it was a different type of atrocity. I mean, to me, atrocities are atrocities. Think about what's happened to black people in this country, and black people are still cool with white people. Black people, by and large, are still cool with white people. If you saw Black Lives Matter go down and everything that went down last time, you saw your little pockets of stuff. It was interesting, and that's something. I mean, I don't really want to talk about this, but it was very interesting to see the Black Lives Matter thing go down last year because I happened to be I actually stopped. I was driving through Palos Verdes. I was driving by Trump's his golf course, and they were protesting there. And so I saw like this whole group of Black Lives Matters folks, and I didn't see a lot of Black people. I saw a lot of white people, and I'm not knocking it at all. But when I got out and I walked around and tried to, because I've been in protests before. I was in Lebanon when 1 million people marched to the center of Beirut, Martyr Square, to protest Syrian occupation in Lebanon. Wow. So I do know about protesting, and I've been in these settings. And there was no camaraderie. No one said a word to me. And I was just kind of like, this is a trip. This is a protest. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with this. I want to get back to the reparations part of things. I'm not trying to sit here hoot and say, ask for handouts. That's not what I'm saying. That's not where my angst is rooted in. It's rooted in this idea that somehow Black people don't deserve reparations, but other groups of people deserve reparations for the atrocities committed upon them. That's where my number one.
Well, I'm going on record and saying it's absolutely deserving 100%. And I've been saying it from day one, even though a lot of people have said no. And whether that's land, whether that is a 401k, so that when the next generation's 18, that they have the option to use it for a small business or a house or education, that they now have 6 figures of money. Like I'm 100% in favor of it, but you're getting pushback because, we just handed out how many trillions of dollars. Like that would have solved the generational wealth gap in a month if you had done that in some way, whether it's land or a combination of land and 401k money or whatever it is. Because I've listened to a lot of people on Clubhouse, and that's not the only platform, but I've tried to do a lot of listening and learning. And I don't go up on the stage rarely ever, but most people in the Black and brown community, among other things, have said land is the one thing that they wish they had.
Well, it's because if you think about the land play from back in the day, when Blacks couldn't own land, when the government gave out all those subsidies or whatever to all the people, and then you're able to refi your crib. So now you got cheese to send people to college. And so it creates this whole little thing that Black people were left out of. Yeah. So it's like you say land. So, okay, let's talk about land. So the US government, they own a lot of land around the globe, right? In America, they own a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if it's giving people land. I mean, it's got to be something though. You can't just keep doing the same.
Well, look, I'm Jewish, right? So I'm in my 3rd generation of wealth.
Right.
So my grandparents had nothing.
Yeah.
But then they worked their way because of various reasons. So they got money. My mom's got money now because she was able to have an education and all that. And now I'm going to have generational wealth. So we're in the 3rd generation. My daughter's 4th. Yeah. And so African Americans are still, for the most part, have more opportunities on some level, but there's no generational wealth, and the educational curriculum and gaps there is a discussion, obviously for a whole nother day, because what's being taught is not what really happened in history. And accessibility is a whole nother issue also that we've talked about on the show, which is it's a political issue that shouldn't be politicized.
but it's like when we talk about change and moving and how do things get better, like if I just don't think if things didn't get better for Black people when we had a Black president, what makes you think they're gonna ever get better for Black people under anybody?
The only thing that I'll say, Chris, and then we'll get to the rapid fire because I know you're gonna go, is that I've seen more involvement from the white community. And I've seen more policy changes in a short period of time, whether it's police reform or other small things that have to do with policy changes, than I've ever seen in such a short period of time. And so I'm guarded, but I'm hopeful on some level. And I hope I'm right.
I'd like to be hopeful too, but every day you turn on the news or TV and you seeing some more BS happening, it just takes away the hope. But I'm hopeful too. Trust me, I don't want to sit here and be, thinking negative, and I try to have a positive attitude about everything, but it's like, even with the new president, I mean, like, man, like it's not a lot is changing. Sure, there are some things, but there was a lot of gas that was being spewed during the campaign. And now there's a lot of backtracking. There's a lot of keeping up with Trump policy. that is going on, immigration specifically. There's just
Yeah.
stuff going on. There's just stuff going on that you just kind of like, it like erodes your faith in things. How do you maintain this strong sense of hope that the American people, and everything Obama used to say, the American people, the strength of the American people, and we believe in the American people, but it's like, what's up? When is it going to be something that's really going to make a difference? No, you're right, though, about the policy changes in a small amount of time, and the last 18 months to 2 years, I'd say, as far as I've seen a very big difference in white people and white folks, and just the way their willingness to speak out on things. And I think that's the number one thing that white people can do, is to speak your truth. If you think it's wrong, speak out on it, talk about it, because it means the world.
Doug Williams said that you could go in a locker room when he was on this show and you could
Mm-hmm.
talk about winning and losing. But if you got a white guy that goes to bat and advocates for an African American in the locker room or in life, there is absolutely nothing comparable to it.
There isn't, sir.
All right, let's get to the this or that. Did you ever have the talk with your son when he was growing up?
My brother asked me a question like that the other day. One of the questions that he asked me was, what song do you think your parents were having sex to when they conceived?
I'm not going to ask you that.
I was like, what the? Like, I say, what the? Like, are you? First of all, why are you doing that to me at this moment? I'm on TV. Like, you're making me think about this. No. Did I have the talk? Did I have the talk with my son? I kind of did. He was, he's not going to want, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but he was a good boy. Just put it like this, Mike. He was a good boy. He was a good boy for a long time.
So you didn't beat your dad until you were a sophomore at UCLA. When has Will ever beat you in one-on-one?
Well, I didn't play him that much. Because it would have been an issue. I didn't play him that much, but I'll say he probably could have got me, probably by his junior year in college. He probably would have beat me, but I never did play him.
Whose game does his game resemble?
Like, that's a good question. I don't really. He's like super skilled, shifty.
Chauncey?
There's not a lot of guys with. I'd have to think about it, honestly. I never think about him in terms of. I always tried to show him lefties growing up. So everybody from your Ginobili to your Van Exel to Larry, Anthony Peeler to videos of Damon Stoudemire, Bino Udrih, Pepe Sanchez, these type of guys. I mean, you just lefty. I just wanted him just to pick up lefty. Rick Brunson, just pick up lefty shit, lefty stuff.
Ricky Brunson.
And however that turns out, we're gonna live with it. And the playing wise, no. To answer your question, no, I didn't really have
Oh man! All right. So fixing his headphones, folks.
Sorry.
With his lovely background there in Los Angeles. Wii, PlayStation, or Xbox?
I don't know. I don't.
You ain't a gamer.
I play on my phone. I have I have NBA Live on my phone. I have
interesting
another game like a Grand Theft Auto type game. I love GTA type stuff. And then I have a golf game and a word.
Do you golf? Do you actually golf?
No. I golf. I golfed back in the day. My dad. I used to go on like these little par. What do they call par threes? Those little short courses.
Executive course, yeah.
Yeah, like that. So I used to go do that with my dad before school in Montclair Prep. Wow. But I golfed once in Qatar, and I haven't been golfing since.
Qatar. So your favorite guy was Anthony Bourdain, right? About food.
Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, he's up there.
So him or the Qatar, the food guy.
I don't want to diss Jay. I know Jay. Anthony though is a legend in the game. Oh, yeah. God rest his soul. I spent many an hour watching, just completely, just dove in, locked in to everything he's talking about, because his stuff was more about. It wasn't so much about the food. The food was almost an afterthought.
Yeah.
To the Anthony Bourdain experience, and so that's why I really loved him. I'm going with Bourdain though. Sorry, Jay.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm sure he'll understand. So do you think LeBron's going to be okay in Space Jam 2? So Space Jam 2 or 1?
I didn't even watch Space Jam 1. I'll be honest.
Wow.
I didn't even watch it. I'm not gonna watch Space Jam 2. I'm not watching that stuff. Those type of movies I'm just not, I have no interest in seeing them. I watch the highlights, the clips, screen grab some images, but I'm not really into watching I didn't watch Space Jam 1, even with Mike, and I love Mike, but I'm not into those type of movies.
So I know you told me that you're just you love doing what you're doing, but you're not necessarily looking for people just because of their name recognition or anything like that. But who are you looking forward to interviewing coming up, or that you're attempting to get, or something like that? That you're just, it could be like, I have Wally Green coming on. He's from New York. He's a table tennis United States representative. He was in gangs. A brother who went to Germany, learned, and I'm his story is fascinating. Like, it doesn't have to be Obama, you know what I'm saying? Like Steph Curry had on his IG Live or whatever. But yeah,
no, but those are the guys that when you ask me who I want to interview, I want to interview Obama. I want to grill Obama. I want to interview LeBron. No, here's my three. I want to interview Magic, Jordan, and Obama. Those are my three. And then I want to go T.O., Vic, Michael Vick, and then maybe like Ray Lewis or somebody. I got some hitters coming on. I got a big time hitter coming on tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you who, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be probably one of my bigger ones. One of my bigger ones to date. One of my bigger ones to date. And I'm excited. And so yeah, but I'm not going to do. I don't do the lives no more. I only do. I just do straight up like these Zooms, or I do a Zencaster. I just record the audio file. I don't do lives no more, just because I'm moving to a bigger network, and I got some stuff going on. So
that's good, that UCLA connection. Okay, so who's been your favorite interview so far?
Great question. Favorite interview. I enjoyed Christine Simmons, the CEO of the Academy.
Yeah, she was great.
She was great. She's very, very good. I enjoyed Earl Watson, one of my first interviews. Obviously, talking to my dad is always just great. Martin Germond is up there for me, UCLA athletic director. He gave it. It was really just awesome how I got
very transparent.
Very transparent, but also I haven't posted it, and I don't know if you'll ever post it, but you'll be able to hear the podcast. But Andy Fee, the athletic director at Cal State University, Long Beach. Wow, he was an awesome interview. Wow. Oh man, I'm telling you, I think you'll enjoy listening to this guy talk for almost 55 minutes. He touches on some really good things. He's not afraid to speak his mind about his student athletes activity on social media, supporting Black Lives Matter. He talked about told me some candid stories about getting into it with different donors because of the athletic department's support of Black Lives Matter. People were pulling funding. I mean, he gets into it. So he definitely was an enlightening interview. Wow. I just made my list out today too, but I enjoyed Jada Williams, the 5-star, the point guard, going to she's just that younger generation, Peyton Watson, Jaime Jaquez, and Jersey Wolfenbarger. So all those were real fun to me. But I mean, I like my boy Steve Lavin. I mean, I can't pick one, man. You're gonna get me in trouble, man. Jelani McCoy. Jelani was great. Masterful. It was a two-parter. And we touched on a lot of stuff too. Yeah.
That was great. Okay, so speaking of Lav, Bill Walton or Lav as an announcer?
Lav all day. Lav all day. You got to understand, I'm biased against Lav. I like that stuff Lav be talking. I like all that stuff he does. I'm enamored by it. So I'm one of his biggest fans. I had the opportunity to stay with him when he was the head coach of St. John's. And so we spent a lot of time together in New York. And so that's my guy. And, we did a lot of talking. And so we shared a lot. So I know how he thinks and I know what's behind a lot of that stuff. And so I'm plugged into that type of energy. I'm a Lav guy.
Yeah, me too. So best conversations are in a locker room or a barber shop?
Shoot. Oh, the locker room, no question. Well, the locker room, because there's different parts of the locker room where you can go off and kind of, whisper about certain things. And so, and some of the real goods to go down in the locker room. Then there's the shower, and different conversations are going on in the shower versus outside of the. I'm telling you, Hey, people, hey, it used to be some stuff going down. I mean, it would be some stuff going down, some conversation in the shower that would directly affect a conversation going on in the other room. And then when the worlds collided, it was an ugly scene. But yeah, so I'll say the locker room for sure.
Waffles, French toast, or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Should the NBA keep Jerry West as the logo, or should they switch it? Because he's done a lot. He's done a lot as a player and as an exec, right? So, but even though nobody really knows who he is.
Yeah, it's just a question of, are you gonna, adhere to the traditions and this and that, and are you gonna evolve it?
Just answer the question, Kris John.
It's a question of it's really a question of all that. I think Kobe. I think Kobe should be the logo. To be
really,
honest. I think
not
Kobe
MJ.
I think Kobe should be the logo.
Wow. Because he died?
In passing. It's a big deal when someone of that stature passes. I think that's a good way to honor his memory for eternity.
Interesting. Adidas top 10s, Converse All-Stars, or Air Force Ones?
No. I don't really.
You ain't rocking any of them?
No, it's Chuck Taylor's. Is that what you just said?
Converse, yeah.
Chuck Taylor's all day.
Candy or popcorn at the movies?
Oh, popcorn.
With butter?
Heavy, half and half.
Butter?
Yeah, take the half out, put the butter, then put the other half in and put more butter. Now give me some salt and then call it a day.
Magic, Steph Curry, or Steve Nash?
Magic.
Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z?
Snoop.
Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, LL, or Run DMC?
No, it's got to be LL.
Really? Wow.
LL. Killer.
Vanilla Ice or Beastie Boys or Eminem?
Oh, Eminem, please.
Okay, Vanilla Ice or Beastie Boys? Which one of those two?
Beastie Boy. Look, you're talking about a guy that isn't a real musician versus two legitimate.
Vanilla Ice, baby.
It's like Milli Vanilli.
Right. Tupac, Drake, or Kanye?
Drake all day. I'm a Drake fan.
Drake is a fan. Would you rather cuddle with a baby panda or a penguin?
Neither. I'd rather cuddle with a koala bear.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so things that make you go, inspired by Arsenio and later C&C Music Factory. Why aren't toilets equipped with foot flushing mechanisms instead of a handle to flush?
They are in Europe, in some places in Europe. They are.
God damn it. Why isn't there mouse-flavored cat food?
There isn't. There's not one product on the market that flavor. So. Oh, that's weird. Do cats actually eat mice?
Okay, so which is the better mama joke? Your mom is so fat she had to iron her pants in the driveway. Or your mom is so dumb I told her it was chilly outside and she went inside and got a spoon.
This is the chilly joke.
All in the Family or Sanford and Son?
Sanford and Son, no doubt.
Tiger Woods or Kobe? Wow.
Tigers. See, I have run-ins with both. I won't get into my Tiger story, but he used to come down to LA while at Stanford, limo, and come party with us and then take all of our chicks like Kobe did.
But you won't tell the story.
I'm not going to tell it, but I'm going Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm going Kobe.
That would be in alignment with the logo. Chris Paul or Isaiah Thomas?
Jesus.
That's a tough one. You're the first person I've asked that one. I just saw highlights. I saw highlights of Zeke this morning.
I gotta go Zeke. Well, here's why. Zeke, the 25 against the Lakers on the hurt ankle, and he's got 2 championships in one of the toughest eras of basketball. Yeah. I'm going with Zeke.
All right. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, or Kevin Hart?
Oh yeah, that's see, I'm not a big Dave Chappelle guy. I do think he's hilarious. And I'm not a Kevin Hart or Chris Rock guy. I'm Richard Pryor. That's where it starts and stops.
All right. Well, that was my next one. Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor. So
I go Rich. I go Rich over everyone.
Sue Bird, Maya Moore, or Diana Taurasi?
Taurasi, get out of here. God, please. Diana Taurasi?
Maya's tough. She's different position.
But Diana Taurasi. I mean,
right.
she got no one with the package I've ever seen that Diana Taurasi has. As far as
no, she's amazing. Spike Lee or Denzel?
Denzel.
Wow.
Yeah, Denzel. That's my dude. Denzel.
Walter Payton or Jim Brown?
Jim Brown.
Jerry Rice or Randy Moss?
Moss.
Tom Brady or Joe Montana?
Tom Brady, dog.
Well, I wish you'd be more vocal about certain issues.
Well, Tom, look, I don't do that with my athletes. I don't do that. Like, I just don't. Remember Mike, Republicans buy shoes too. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So frustrating. Invisible, fly, or super strength?
Fuck, what is that? What are we talking about?
Like the Hulk.
Invisible. Come on.
Really? Wow.
Well, nobody's gonna see. You can dip in and dip out. You dip it in and you dip it out, baby.
Bucket hat or baggy clothes?
Oh, bucket.
Yeah. Monster truck or dog show?
Monster truck. No, I won't lie. Dog show.
Who comes to mind when you hear mentally tough?
I don't know. Kobe.
Courageous.
Pat Tillman.
Wow. Interesting. I actually sent a message to his wife, but I never got a response. I would love to hear. People don't know his story now, and if you could get her on, I think that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
To tell his story. Michael Jackson or Prince?
See, what's happened is lately you can't say you like certain guys because you know what I'm saying. It's the cancel culture, so
They're both dead.
But you know how it goes because Mike and when all that happened and all that. But yeah. I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I love Prince, but Michael Jackson is one of the greatest ever performers and singers.
All right, a couple more. Favorite Yiddish word, right? Because I'm Jewish, so I got to throw that in there. Alter cocker, Meshuggah, or Tuchus?
Tuchus.
Kiss my Tuchus. All right. What about schmutz or schmuck? Schmuck.
I like schmuck.
All right. Red Hot Chili Peppers or Boys to Men?
Oh, please. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I know. That was just a dead giveaway. Charles Barkley or the Mailman?
Barkley. Mailman gets no play around here.
Yeah. Should Zion be a point guard, a small forward, or a wing?
Great question. I was just talking about his passing ability today. Did you say power forward?
Either forward position.
Wing. Yeah, stay at the big forward.
Really?
Just be a mismatch your whole life. Why?
He's not a mismatch at the point?
I just don't think
scoring
he can
point.
I don't think he can handle. He's not going to be able to handle it like that, against these guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to be tough.
Favorite song at a family picnic?
It's a family affair.
Board games or puzzles?
Oh, board games.
All right. And before we leave the floor for you, anything else? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. I see myself on the island of Oahu, owning some oceanfront property, chilling, just making my money work, man. I hope to be have a bunch of just stuff that's just keeping me paid on a daily and a monthly basis, and I want to be there chilling and watching my kids just grow and achieve their dreams and support them as much as I can in everything they do. That's where I see myself in 5 years.
Well, like I said, I was looking forward to this. Like I said, as much as any of the interviews, and you got a lot of things you could be doing right now. There's a lot of things that are important to you, that are important to us on this show, and mad love and big ups, mad props for what you're doing and evolving, and just trying to understand that some of the parts are greater than the parts themselves, even now later in life. So so appreciate you coming on, man.
No, thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
All right, let's stay in touch for sure, and I can't wait to hear what tomorrow's all about.
Yeah, it's gonna be on. All right.
All right, peace out, brother. Much love, man.
Later. All right, Hoot.
All right,
Take
peace,
care.
bro. Later.
Bye.
Can't thank Kris Johnson enough for joining us here in the Sports Deli, former national champion at UCLA in 1995. Just an honor to share space with him. Remember, your voice matters when fighting systemic racism. Read a book, acknowledge your white privilege, watch a movie about institutional racism, call your local or state representatives, and or have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like you. We have to change the economic, educational, police, housing, prison, and voting suppression narratives that currently need to be changed in this country. And the only way to do that is to listen and learn and then help be a part of the mobilization and change that we want to see. Remember, you can always send us an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com. Until next time, please mask up still. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Peace.